Hi, this is Matrixity from Matricity's Muses. Welcome to my Matrix. There's a glitch in the Matrix today. That glitch is called Dorian. The outer band of Dorian has moved into this area, and so we've had rain for the past couple hours. I've decided that my station for Dorian is going to be here outside on the porch until it gets really bad. So I've made this my Hurricane Central, the back porch in my rattan chair. So this is where I'm going to try to tell you how I weathered this storm. Well, some of the first things I need to tell you about is something with our little doggy. We have a Chihuahua who does not like to go outside in the rain. What are we going to do? I've been walking her in the rain all day today, so that's why you see me busting up the 80s hair's big rain. I've walked her and I've walked her and I've walked her some more, and she will go number one. But we're waiting on number two. We know number two has to be there, but that hasn't happened yet. Then I remembered someone told me that for little dogs, you can almost make like a dog litter box by taking a flat box, which I have, and I surrounded it or wrapped it in a black trash bag. And then what you have to do is put grass. I went to the backyard, the back of the yard, behind the shed, and dug up some grass sod, and I layered it. So she's like a layer of carpeted grass in this box. And that's what she's supposed to use. Well, I have tried walking her on the leash to that box in the back porch. I put her in the box on the back porch. So far, nothing has happened. So we're going to see if that's really going to work out. I think I might have to be trying to force her to go in the rain again later on today. But if she would go in that box, that would be the best option for Dorian and the dog. Oh my gosh. Don't want her to go in the house, so that's why we're trying that. Well, it's raining. It's been raining for quite a few hours now, and I've been enjoying this breeze. The breeze from Dorian so far is good. I know the outer bands are getting stronger because the wind is picking up. The rain is also picking up. But so far it's very pleasant. It's very nice. And you know, remember in the past video I said that the mosquitoes love me and I must be their walking food bank? No mosquitoes today. I think the mosquitoes have left Charleston in advance of Dorian because there's not a mosquito bothering me outside. I even have my cutter. Where's my bottle? You know, the great cutter. That works so well. I have my cutter with me. I've had to spray it on my legs, but I'm telling you, no mosquitoes have been bothering me today. So I think Dorian has made the mosquitoes go away. And as you know, they're going to be back as soon as Dorian leaves. But so far today, it's been wonderful. So this is going to be my post out here outside in the backyard until it gets really bad. And you know, the weather here has been fluctuating. Like a little while ago, the breeze was so hard that it was actually cold and I had on a sweater. Now the breeze has changed. The breeze has gotten warm and it's actually more humid. So I guess some of those warm Bahama breezes or tropical winds are coming in with all this wind. I can only think that's what's happening. So we're all ready. You know, we've got flashlights. I found my radio. I've got my batteries ready. I just got to put that together. So if the lights go out, I think we have lamps. Also, we have oil lamps, so we're going to be prepared for that. But right now, this day, I've just been lounging on this rattan. It's a chase lounge, actually. It's actually has a back here, but also reclines. It's long, so I can actually stretch out on it. So it's been great. I've been out here reading my book, trying to finish A Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. Can you see that? This is one of my favorite books, A Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. My daughter gave me this book for my birthday a couple years ago, and I have yet to finish it. And I've actually started it and restarted it at least 5 times. So I just started it again. And this time I'm going to make it to the end. I'm actually about 3/4 of the way done. So I'm going to actually finish it soon. So, and it's wonderful. I've gotten to the part where he's actually met Scott Fitzgerald. Oh my gosh, Scott Fitzgerald, he was a piece of work. You got to read this book. He was not a good person. So many issues with him, so many, but it's very, very interesting. The other thing we got as far as our hurricane snacks, we got some things like craisins. We love those. So we got some walnuts too to kind of mix those together. But the other thing we found just on a splur was at Publix. There were some pumpkin bars. And you know, I am the pumpkin spice queen. I am all about pumpkin. Yes, I'm basic. Yes, I am. My daughter calls me basic every fall because I am all about the pumpkin spice latte. Anything pumpkin, I love it. So we got these wonderful pumpkin bars at Publix, and very good. Can you see that? Oh my gosh. This pumpkin bar is so good, so good. Not too sweet. It's almost like pumpkin pie, a layer of pumpkin pie on top. Something in the middle. There's like 3 layers here. There's a crust. There's something else. Some other little layer. I don't know what it is. And then there's a layer of pumpkin. Can you see those 3 layers? 3 layers. Oh my gosh, so yummy. So, I've got my book. I've got my pumpkin square. And you know, you can't sit outside in the backyard without tea. So I've got my tea. I am a green tea drinker. I'm a tea drinker, period, you know, because the Royal Street tea, so there, I drink tea. I've always been a tea drinker. So I've got my tea today in my TARDIS. My lovely TARDIS cup, which I love so much. So I've got some green tea steeping, you know, steeping right here. And I'm going to have some tea and my pumpkin bar. And I'm going to finish reading some more of my book. And you know, what's on me, Jennifer, later? If we have to and the weather gets really bad, we're going to be moving into the Florida room. And once we get to the Florida room, we're going to be doing some adult coloring. So I've got some adult coloring books. One of those is actually on Doctor Who that I got from my friend Angie for Christmas. So a couple years ago. So I've got that and some others too. So we're going to be doing some adult coloring to pass the time. And oh my gosh, this day is passing so slowly. It's just incredible how slow the day is going. But anyway, Dorian, bring it. We're ready. I hope you're ready too. And I want to hear how you've weathered the storm also. So the other thing too you can do for me is please subscribe. If you're watching this video, there's a little red button. Please subscribe because I want to try to grow my channel. And that would be great. And I would appreciate it so much if you could please subscribe. So I'm going to enjoy my tea and my TARDIS mug, which I love. Thanks, Sylvia. This was a great gift from her. This is the most wonderful cup ever, and I just love it, love it, love it. I've got my pumpkin bar, and I will see you guys later with another update from Dorian in the Matrix. Bye! I hope everyone's faring well in the storm. It's still raining. I'm still here at Hurricane Central on the patio. But you know, it's getting dark. It's a little after 7, and the light is leaving. So I think, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go inside because it's getting very dark. Since I last saw you, of course, I've got a scarf because it's cold now. You know, the wind is really cold. And we did go to the Florida room, and we had family adult coloring. So this is our Dorian art. This is my Dorian art that I did. Can you see that? It took quite a while. All those intricate colors, that are quite a while to decide what to do. And you know, I have several adult coloring books, quite a few, so I have about 4. I only pulled out 2 today, but I did this one. This is a botanical book that I have. It's purely botanical, beautiful flowers and things like that. So my mother and I did the botanical flowers, and then Whitney, she has her own coloring books. So she pulled out one that has a lot of mandalas in it, and she did one of those, and so it was gorgeous. So that took about 2 hours of the day. You know, killing time, waiting for Dorian to get here, you know, the glitch in the Matrix. And as far as the dog, luckily we had a break in the rain and we could walk her normally. So we got that taken care of. But we still have the box, and I'm still trying to get her to go in that box if we need it. You know, this weather takes me back to when I used to work for an insurance company, and I think it was Hurricane Floyd that we had when I was working there. And we couldn't leave because it was an insurance company. We had to work the storm. We were all on mandatory storm duty. And so the city gave the evacuation mandatory probably at noon, but we couldn't go till like maybe 2 or 3. So to come home, help my parents get the wooden slats up on the house, the whole 9 yards. And then I was basically the driver for everything at that time, you know, just like today. So I was the one who had to drive. So the traffic was so terrible because they did not reverse the lanes initially. It literally took 8 hours to get from the entrance of 526 West Ashley to Ashley Phosphate Road. 8 hours. Literally 8 hours, going about 2 miles per hour all day. I think we got in the car around 3:30, and it literally took 8 hours to get to Ashley Phosphate Road. And when we got there, The only thing open was that Waffle House there, and so I think we did stop, and I think there was one gas station open. We got gas because we were trying to get to Atlanta. Okay, darkness comes and out come spiders, really? I think Dorian needs to take me with the spiders because I'm not playing with you. Spider heaven. There you go. And so I was the driver, and I was so tired because I'd worked all day. You know, I was the driver. It took 8 hours in that car. It was the middle of the night. And so I was so tired. I told my father that I needed to at least take a rest, a nap. And so he drove. And it was the nighttime. So he did not want to drive at night, but he had to because I could not drive not a centimeter more. So I got in the back seat and rested. And actually I did go straight to sleep. And then my father was driving and my mother was helping him drive. But granted, we were all going like 5 miles per hour, but still it was treacherous. And I think after about an hour and a half, my mother woke me up and says, "You got to take over." And I said, "Okay." So I did. So we drove all night. And the next thing I know, I hear a car blowing its horn. And I wake up behind the wheel. I was sleeping. I look around in the car, everybody is sleeping. My mother is sleeping, my father is sleeping, my grandfather on my mother's side was with us also. He was sleeping. I was sleeping and driving the car. I mean, literally. I must have taken my foot off the gas because when I woke up, I was in the middle of 2 lanes. There were no cars ahead of me, no cars behind me. Everybody was far back because I guess they realized our car was in trouble because everybody in the car was asleep and I was asleep behind the wheel, holding the wheel, sleeping. And so everybody had given us a wide berth because we were going to wreck, obviously, and they did not wreck into us on that highway. So there was a car next to us and he was blowing his horn and he had his window down, the driver, and he was screaming, ma'am, wake up, wake up. So he was screaming. There was another car on the right side of us, and that person was also blowing the horn. So I guess those 2 cars had gotten between us on each side of me to try to somehow make enough noise to wake me up. And finally it happened. I woke up and I looked around and I was like, oh my God, the angels were with us that day because I was asleep. I don't know how long I was asleep, but from the fact that there were cars, there was nobody ahead of me and everybody was way behind me. Nobody wanted to get near me except for these 2 vehicles who were trying to wake me up. I must have been asleep at the wheel for a long time. And I had taken my foot off the gas. So I guess I had just like, was going straight, but just my arms, because I was holding to the steering wheel, I guess I was just straight in the middle of the lane. So craziness. So I thank God we didn't have an accident because we were going to be doomed that day. And I thank those 2 drivers who did their diligence to try to help wake me up, and they did, because I heard someone blowing the horn and someone screaming, wake up, and I finally did. So I waved to those drivers and I was like, I yelled to everyone in the car, wake up, you know, and everybody did, and it was like in the morning. So the last thing I remember is the middle of the night, and then I wake up and it's daylight outside. It's about 7 in the morning. We are close to Columbia, so I have no memory, even today, no memory of when I remember swapping with my father and driving, but then that was the last thing I remember until daylight morning. Don't remember a thing. So I don't know how long I was asleep behind the wheel. But we actually, you know, made it to Columbia. We had a little way to go, and we stopped at Lizard's Thicket. And I said, we got to stop at Lizard's Thicket, which we did, and we had breakfast and, you know, kind of rested for a while, and then got back on the road, and we made it to Columbia. That's where we were evacuated to Columbia. So I dropped my family out there, and then of course, because I had to come back and work the storm, I had to turn around and come right back to Charleston because I was on beeper and everything else, and you know, handling claims coming in. So that was a harrowing experience, and I thank God that we were okay. So this weather brings that memory back to me as far as being asleep behind the wheel for who knows how long, and the 2 guardian angel drivers on each side of me trying to wake me up, and finally they did. I heard them screaming at me to wake up. So that was probably, I don't know, guardian angels had to be with me that day. So It's getting dark, really dark, and the light is really fading. It's almost 8 o'clock now. So I'm going to head in. But I will probably come back out because I'm a storm watcher and I want to see the craziness, the wind blowing crazily. So if I can't come outside because it's really bad, I'm going to be right next door in the Florida room. That's where I will be. So I hope to get some good footage of the trees going crazy and things like that. I will see you soon. Hi, this is Matrixity. Dorian. Today has been seriously the Dorian day. I've had the full Dorian experience at least 3 times because trying to walk the dog in that little doggy litter box did not work. So we had to go out into the wind and the rain and the craziness, that was Dorian several times this morning. So I've had the full Dorian experience as far as feeling the fierceness of the wind and the blowing of the rain all over me at least 3 times. So I've experienced Dorian in every way you can imagine. And it's been kind of a strange day. I mean, last night I went to bed and the wind was howling so much last night. Probably woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning with the howling of the wind and went outside. Did not go outside, but looked outside the window. Did turn on the news to check the forecast to see what was going on, and then went back to bed. Today, I'm out here in Hurricane Central again on my lawn chair on the back porch, and I'm having some tea. And believe it or not, I did finish my book. I finished the book, The Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway, and I moved on to reading Lolita in Tehran. So that is what I'm reading. It's a memoir. It's very good. And it's about 8 women who live in Tehran, Middle East, and they're trying to read Western books, which is prohibited, and what happened to them and how it changed their lives. So that's going to be very interesting as well. I hope that you all have weathered the storm well. We did have some power fluctuations, like sporadic out and on, but we did not really lose power for any great length of time. Today, we did lose power for like maybe 10 minutes, and then it came back on. But sitting out here on the porch when the storm was happening this morning, and I was out here for hours with Dorian, I could hear weird electrical humming. So I guess it was the lines, being affected by the storm, but that happened a lot. We've got really no damage here. The house next to us, a tree though, has fallen on their roof. It was an older looking tree, but it did fall on their roof, which is not good. So that's the only damage I can see right around me from the back porch. One of the things that I know that I'll be glad this afternoon, it's after 3, so now Dorian is probably past us and heading up to North Carolina. So I hope that those people fare well as far as Dorian, and that she continues to hug the coast and just stay out to sea for the most part. And with this type of weather, we could seriously deal with this as far as rain and wind. Some power outages, a whole lot better than a giant, massive hurricane doing an impact here to the holy city. So we skirted that bullet, and I am so very happy. So the rest of the day will be, just kind of leisurely. It's still raining, of course, windy, of course, but I hope everyone got through the storm well. We did here. And I will see you later, alligator. Bye.